Hopefully, if this is true, if the rumors are true, this is good. Uh, rumor: Amazon to retool Lord of the Rings: The Rings of Power, sideline current showrunners after first season was more of a failure than it could have anticipated, which is fantastic. If they do this, that'll be so good. It's like, hey, we fucked up. Let's change the showrunners. Let's remove Patrick McKay and JD Payne, right? Uh, and just completely remove them. Just it'll be great, right? So with Amazon's live action bastardization of J.R.R. Tolkien's seminal fantasy works having underperformed by practically every metric, a new rumor suggests that the company will be retooling The Rings of Power for its second season, starting with sidelining the current showrunners JD Payne and Patrick McKay. Please, 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 Lord Sauron, please just do it. just get rid of them. The word of this apparent shakeup was first suggested by Note film critic, industry insider, and Film Threat founder Chris Gore during the appearance of the 314th episode of YouTube live stream show Midnight's Edge in the Morning. Oh yeah, so I've seen this guy before. Discussing the series' first season finale with the day's panel, Gore was eventually asked by host Andre Inharjar, have you heard from the peers in the industry? Is everyone so impressed with the Rings of Power like the showrunner suggests we should be? To which the critic admitted, no. In fact, said Gore, not only were his industry contacts unimpressed with season one, but the reception to it was generally abysmal that Amazon has set out to course correct season two. Please do it. Get rid of these. Was it Nas girls?
Yeah, Nazgals.
Yeah, Nazgals, right? I heard from someone that has a connect at Amazon that if you want to know that effectively they are going to be retooling, they're going to be retooling. He explained, and Payne and McKay are more than likely they're not going to be publicly fired, but their role will be reduced, which is I hope so, right? Bring back in Shippy, right? Bring back in the token scholar that you fired, and just make it good, right? Potentially just remaining in the writer's room, right? He added. But my understanding is that they're looking for more experienced showrunners. How about you get like Peter Jackson as like a freaking like I don't know, like a person that they can use. That would be pretty nice. To this end, Gore detailed that Amazon is well aware of the problems before noting that while there's what they say publicly say, there's also what they're actually doing behind the scenes. And what they're doing behind the scenes, he then asserted, is they're freaking out that this was more of a failure than it could have been anticipated. Oh, this is so good. Like, I'm glad they're waking up to this. It's because, was it 25 million people watched the first episode? It's so damn good. This is that. I've read articles on like Facebook and like a couple other websites saying that this is better than House of the Dragon, which is, oh my God, like you can't even compare the two, which is so bad.
Yeah, it's odd because on Amazon, when I'm, like Amazon, like purchasing something, there'll be a banner, and it says that Rings of Power is the number one show on Amazon.
No, it's not.
Like,
Jeffrey
what?
Dahmer is number one.
I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah, it's the show about a guy eating people is number one compared to the show. I believe this show is like number what, like
4,
like 6, like 4, like 3 or 4 or something like that. Like, and
yeah,
oh man, it's pretty bad. But let's go and continue. I think that the quality of the show is the number one thing. Audiences are like, why am I still watching this? And this is sleep inducing. Absolutely, there have been many episodes. I would say like 7 out of the 10 episodes that we watched, this felt like 7 is 8 episodes only, right?
Yeah, 8.
Okay, yeah. So maybe like 6 or 7 out of the 8 episodes, like it was super boring, and I was like falling asleep doing most of them. The second thing is that the total rejection from fans. I can't believe there has to be very few people who remain who still like it. The thing is, I do know some people who like it. It's just like we mentioned, Grae, in our past podcast. Just anything that has to do remotely with anything Tolkien related, they'll just eat up. It's because they haven't had anything in such a long time. Right, and thirdly, the direct competition from House of the Dragon, even like pre-seed and post-seed, of the show's airing, it started earlier and is ending later, thus keeping the viewer's consciousness for a longer period of time. So in my opinion, I think what they failed, in my opinion, that they did was releasing 2 episodes. Like they
Yeah.
released
2
2 episodes,
episodes.
right? They shouldn't have done that, right? If that's the case, like you would have at least like had like more runtime in terms of like whether or not it's going to be trending on Twitter or not. Okay, though it might not be for years before gore speculation is outright confirmed or denied, the damningly low audience scores currently held by the series on review aggregate sites Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes make it clear that something needs to be done, and should Amazon hope to justify their $1 billion Lord of the Rings investment. As of writing, the Rings of Power currently holds the collectively 2.5
2.5.
out of
Oh
10.
wow.
Holy crap. Across the ratings of 2,422 on the former outlet. So, oh my God, this is so bad. And of course, you see over here in Rotten Tomatoes that, right, critics loved it and audience didn't. While the latter is 35,548 fans have left the series with the scathing 39% Rotten Tomato average. Clearly, even without delving into the massive waves of discourse surrounding the honoring of Tolkien's work or the cast and crew's insulting the author's fans, the series has failed to land with viewers. And while some may feel justified in pointing to its respective 71 out of 100 and 85% fresh ratings from critics, these numbers are probably suspect, thanks to Amazon studio boss Jennifer Selk's own admission, that they were censoring viewers from the critics who had point of views and that we wouldn't support, which suggests that an obvious slant in the sentiments communicated by those reviews which are actually published. Yeah, I believe someone mentioned something about Jennifer Selks right over here. So someone in chat said, it's Corey. Nothing will change. Jennifer Selk is signed on to the Annenberg Inclusion Initiative, inclusion rider, and it's a legal contract that she literally reports to Stacey L. Smith on wokeness compliance. So here's the thing. Working in the entertainment industry, we always have this thing that's called diversity, inclusivity, and equity, which is acronym is DIE, and it's basically how can we make sure that we are making talking about representation, talking about how representation matters, and how that should be most important when making stuff. So basically, they're sidelining good writing, they're sidelining good just good storytelling in and trying to boast up all these things that has to do with just, hey, we should have more people of color in the show versus just having a good story. And as a creative person, that's absolutely not the thing to do, right? You can have the most beautifulest like landscape and like backdrop or whatever, which Rings of Power does have. Like some of the scenes look really, really great. You could tell it's expensive. But if it's all fluff and all show and no substance, no one's gonna stick around and watch this piece of shit. And that's how I feel. And I think everyone feels like that. It's like, yeah, you can, like I mentioned all the time, you can only polish a turd so much. At the end, it's always going to be the turd. And I believe Angry Joe said this about season 8 of Game of Thrones. He said he's eating a bowl of ice cream, and then when he's giving this bowl of ice cream, there's literally a piece of shit on it, right? And no matter how much ice cream you eat, there's always going to be that piece of shit that's on your ice cream. And that's how I feel about this show. And the fact that the showrunners like initially came out and just like bashed like the fans and stuff like that, just automatically without even like censoring reviews on Amazon, and like it only has like 20,000 reviews or something like that. It's just, and versus you have 25 million viewers. It's just it's like, why are you trying to hide it? If the show sucks, then it sucks. Like same thing. Like that's the reason why Rotten Tomatoes, like I don't really care what critics give anymore. Like especially even with I believe Black Adam coming in at what 35%, 39% critic review and then 90% audience review. I think people just want to have something that can entertain them, right? like we're finally coming out of post COVID. People are a lot of things are opening back up now, at least for here in the States. People just want to be entertained. People don't want to have to be virtue signaled and telling, being told if you don't like the shows because you're a racist, bigoted, istophobe or whatever. No, nobody likes being told that. And especially if you have people who are like, hey, if you don't like it, don't watch it, right? And like one major example is with this whole thing about like Wakanda Forever, right? It's going all over TikTok, and it's literally a person saying, "Hey, if you support Black
Yeah.
people, don't watch a Wakanda Forever in opening night. What you should do
Yeah.
is buy your tickets and give it to a Black person who wants to watch it, and don't watch it. Don't come watch it. If you support Black people, don't watch it." Okay. The thing is that I was never originally gonna go watch it anyways because I don't like going to the movie theaters. I just like staying at home, watching movies in my underwear and shit like that. But if you're telling me don't watch it, we're gonna listen. Like, and the thing is that we hate, as fans and as people who are just innate in our nature, whenever we are told to do something, we hate that. But if you're telling us not to watch something, is even better. That means we don't have to spend our money. You know what I can do? I can either, one, just wait for it on Disney Plus, right? Maybe wait 3 months, it'll come out on Disney Plus. Or two, if I really, really want to, I could just pirate that shit, right? I can just wait for it on like a streaming website that does it illegally. I don't fucking care, right? If you're telling me to do all that stuff, I will do my best in my way to not give that company money, is because they're basically telling us fans that we're pieces of shit because we don't like something that they made. It's that simple. But yeah. So I hope they've learned from their lesson, right? The entire embarrassing first season Amazon's Rings of Power is now streaming on Prime Video. But yeah, so I, like that's enough of a rant from me. But like I've said this numerous times, like already. Like if your show sucks, learn from it. If it like it's sort of like what they did with Deadpool, right? The first time you saw Deadpool, they literally like sewn his mouth shut. And I guess the person that was actually playing that version of Deadpool wasn't even Ryan Reynolds. It was like another person. So, like, learn from that, make something that's actually good, and hopefully you don't talk shit about your fans, and people will come. That's it, right? Don't virtue signal. Don't put all these shit in there. It can't. If you want it to be like more woke and stuff like that, do it where it's like smart. Do it where it's actually that is impactful and it means something. Don't just do it just for just because we need your token Asian person here, right? They're already talking about making a fucking full-on female Fight Club. Like, are you fucking serious? Like, they literally said we're gonna make an all-female Fight Club. What? Are you what? That's like a cult classic movie that you don't fuck with. Oh, but we it's sort of like what they did with 2016 Ghostbusters, right? Like, for me, what they could have done instead of just completely remaking it, it's like, oh, it's gonna be it's gonna be Ghostbusters, but it's in the future, and these are like the kids of like the original Ghostbusters, and then you can have a cameo. No, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna just freaking, what was his name, Paul Feig or whatever his shit face is. He basically just completely ruined it, and they brought in the cameos expecting the fans who are gonna like it, and they basically turned every male character in that show like into an idiot. Case in point, Chris Hemsworth's character was a fucking idiot in that shit, right? Okay, sorry. That's just I'm gonna try to stop ranting. But Corey in the chat says Kevin Feige, Jennifer Salk, J.J. Abrams, Catherine Bigelow. There are a lot of people who have signed this thing, and it's not just diversity hiring or casting. They also have obligations in guiding content. And then we have Dave says, here's something to think about. It was announced recently that Amazon Prime is doing a Fallout TV series. Man. So here's the thing. I've never played Fallout. Grae, have you? You play Fallout?
I did. Yeah. I haven't heard from anything ever since the announcement of the fall. That I know Amazon's making one, but I have not heard anything ever since. But Fallout is far more flexible for them to do something like that, which I got to hope not. But because Fallout is all about America getting nuked during the war, so it's a post-apocalyptic world. So it's plenty flexible to do their own standalone story based on that. So if they're gonna do what they did with Rings of Power, yeah, it's gonna be another shit show for sure. Like they're gonna make all the females really good. They're making them all the badass, and all the males are really dumb, really stupid, or really bad writing overall. But maybe if there, I mean, there's room, as much as they're just rumors that they're trying to amend in Rings of Power. Maybe they will do the same with Fallout, since I mean they can still backpedal with Fallout since season 1 is not even out yet. So maybe there's hope that they'll rectify it with Fallout. It depends on who's running the show, who's running the Fallout. If it's the same people running Rings of Power, then yeah, it's gonna be another disaster. But if it's someone who prioritizes the writing more than the diversity inclusion, then yeah, there may be hope for Fallout for it to be better. Yeah, it depends on who's running it, because at the end of the day,
True.
it's them who's like, no, we're gonna impose diversity no matter how crap the writing is, or if it's someone who's like, no, writing first before diversity inclusion. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like it's under the assumption that these two are mutually exclusive, which they are not. Like you can have good writing at the same time while having inclusion. Like the good writing will speak to the inclusion. You don't need to be loud about the inclusion. Like, oh, we brought in a black person, we brought in an Asian person. Just let that character be good. Like it'll be the audience themselves who will say, oh, this Asian character is really really good. Oh, this black character is really really good. You don't have to say it out loud on the TV show itself. You let the audience be the one to say that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Like
I was
like
actually gonna say that too. Like the whole woke or like inclusivity thing. Like, I mean, just talking back about the comparison with House of Dragons. You know, I like you said, Philip. I didn't know they race swap. Like characters like Lenore and Lena and stuff. And I I don't want to speak for the whole audience, but at least for me, I love those characters and stuff.
oh yeah.
And yeah, I didn't see it as like, oh, I like that black character, or like, oh, I really like that gay character. It's not. It's just you like the character. Just like what Grae was saying, if you just prioritize the writing and even like the character direction, you don't care if that purple, if that character is purple, or if it's a water bottle. Like if they're great characters, then you're gonna fall in love with it, and you're not even, me being a normie, not knowing past lore with the things that I've been watching. um it that love for the character will just come naturally. But yeah, I kind of feel like with Rings of Power, and I'm female here, so at first when I started watching Rings of Power, I admit I got very interested in the main character.
Galadriel.
Okay, huh?
Galadriel.
Galadriel, because I knew about her from the movie, so I was like, okay, this is her journey. And then I admit, when I saw her, I was like, oh, she looks cool. She looks like a younger Galadriel. Oh, I love her voice. Oh, this is gonna be nice. And then I ended up hating her. I ended up getting so annoyed by her, and like I hated that there was just no growth. And so that's why I don't understand a lot of the critics or reporters saying that this idea of how she's annoying or not a likable character is coming all from sexist men, because I'm like, oh, what about me? uh, I should I be loving her just because she's a strong female character? No, she was not written very well at all. She's not likable. I'm sure, and I'm sure that's the, it's not on the actress. I don't think so, or I hope not.
Yeah, yeah,
It's the direction that they're making her go to, and the writing too. Like there was no there. I could not relate to her. I did not see any growth or like struggle, or there was nothing likable for me, at least. So, but yeah, you have like the show House of Dragons, where you could say that's actually pretty woke. There's so many strong female characters. There's diverse characters. They. I mean, Lena is gay. They checked it all off. And I mean, we have nothing but great things to say about that show.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. It's you're 100% on the mark there. So Corey said in the chat, I'm telling you, as long as Salk is in charge, it's going to happen more of the same. That's
if she's handling the Fallout TV series too, then yeah, it's gonna be female empowerment.
Yeah, and then she follows up with, they can make a good woke original content, but all a retcons Amazon does will have this ham-fisted injection into the original IPs. Prepare to be disappointed if you expect something true to the source. And then they follow up that they all are well-written characters. All of the characters have arcs. Yeah, exactly. So, like you have some shows that are like The Terminalist that did really, really well amongst fans, right? I enjoyed it. Terminalist was great. It's just it's actually it's a true story by Jack Carr, which I actually do follow him on Instagram and stuff like that. And for me, it's just a good, interesting story with like a good twist, right? And like for me, like same thing with what's it called again, like The Boys. I know that some characters are like race swap, gender swap, or whatever, and they change some of the characters, and they're like, oh, they're gonna like moving forward, I think they're gonna make Homelander bisexual. I'm like, I could see that in his character, him being bisexual.
I can see that.
Like, I can see that, right? It's not something crazy. Oh, we have Maeve who's a lesbian. I'm like, okay, cool. I can see that too, right? So the thing is that you could like Kat said, there are woke shows that are good, right? It's like, what's it called again? Just because if we don't like it, are we considered like the worst thing on earth, right? Like here's a great example. If Catwoman, the movie with Halle Berry, was released today, the exact same way that sucked, terrible CGI, and how she can't act and stuff like that, we would be labeled as all of those things. Oh, you don't like strong black female-led characters. You don't like this, then you're a sexist. You're saying that Halle Berry cannot lead a movie and stuff like that. They basically call us every name in the book, and I think it just goes to show, look, your writing just sucks. The CGI is stupid, right? That's about it. That's why no one's gonna come and watch that movie. It's not because we don't like black-led female characters. It's not any of that kind of stuff. But I digress. But
I think the thing that's crazy though, like, coming also from the creative industry, the thing that they tell us at school is that we have to have a backbone because we're gonna get critiqued. Like, that's one of the things that they always tell us at school. So it's kind of funny that in this case, like any type of critique, seems like the creators they take it so personally. Like you cannot say anything bad, or else you are this and that and that. Like, I don't know what they would label me, a man, or because I don't agree with certain, with these shows that are supposed to empower women or something. Like, I don't agree with it. But yeah, so I think it's just kind of, it's weird because coming from like us being artists and stuff, they put that in our head over and over and over. So I don't know. I just thought I would add that. It's just kind of odd how sensitive. Like some of the creators have, like they call it toxic fan reviews or something, But it's like, it's a critique to the audience that you're trying to impress and satisfy, right?
Thanks for checking out this segment of the Project Eggroll podcast. If you like what we do here, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you will know next time when we go live. We do go live every Saturday at 8 p.m. Once again, we are just getting started. Tons of more video to come. Thanks, and we'll see you guys next time.